Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight was most of the day, and I really do. I hope you get out in nature somewhere at a hiking trail in the middle of nowhere, at a park, a bike trail, somewhere, even if it's in your backyard or your front yard. Really just try to get yourself outside. And anyway, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. And you could find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. And you could give this video a thumbs up, and you could subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget the notification bell. That way you don't miss any videos. Plus, don't be afraid, don't be shy. Swing by and say hi to Starlight by leaving Starlight a message. Ding, ding, ding. And thank you. I want to thank all of you out there who just recently subscribed. I might have met you in person a couple days ago because I passed out my cards all over out there. So thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel. And those of you that have been around for a while and the ones that have been here throughout the whole time, thank you for loving and supporting Starlight, plus giving my videos a thumbs up or even leaving a comment down below. Thank you. And you could share my videos with your family or friends. A hawk Starlight saw 3 hawks today. It was so beautiful. They were right above me, flying around in a circle, and I looked that up. There's different information you can get when you see animals. So if you see something with the animals, you can type up on Google and find out, is that a normal thing? Why are there 3? So I'm not going to tell you that right now. So anyway, it was so beautiful seeing 3 hawks together. That's my first time ever seeing that. And that's why I looked that up. And also an eagle. So what does it mean when you see a hawk? I didn't see an eagle today, but what does it mean if you see an eagle? And also, besides that, you could check out my playlist. And don't forget, you could check out my playlist. I just said that. You can follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. So today, because I know some of you are, out there searching for the one, and you are struggling, and I get it. I have done that, been there, and I got the t-shirt somewhere. Where it is, and this is for males or females, of course, is men or women that are searching high and low for the one, and they're frustrated because what they find. Ouch. It's not everything that they were hoping for, the one that they found. You could be on dating apps like Starlight used to go on to, and I'll tell you what, and they have so many strings out there, on dating apps. So these days, it's very rare to actually find a human being. No, they got robots on, a lot of dating apps. They have fake people on dating apps. So it does get really frustrating, and that's why you have to be really super smart when you go on there and, test out the robot. See, okay, is this a robot? Is this a real person? So there's a lot of things. I will make a video on that, all the things that start, a lot of things that could be a long video because there's a lot to it when going on dating apps out there, the things that you have to, I had to learn the hard way. And that's why with my YouTube channel, anybody that's a YouTube creator had to go through and learn things, the hard way. And then we did the homework, and now you get to receive that wisdom or knowledge, for free. So like I've gotten so much, I mean, tons of help from my mentors. So thank you, where he's done a lot of the work, and I got that information free. Now you can get all that information free, but if you're absolutely not doing anything with it, what can I say? Really? So, whoops, sorry, Starlight's little phone here. So anyway, you're searching high, you're searching low, you're over that way, over here, and like I said, you're frustrated. You the person said stuff, like maybe on a dating app, maybe you got brave and, I am not searching right now. I am definitely 100% so grateful for the one that the universe has blessed me with. So Starlight's not searching, but like people that are out there searching, I don't know, do you go on a dating app? Where do you go? Like, do you go, at your favorite place, maybe a park, maybe a hiking trail, maybe you like to bowl, like Starlight's good at bowling. Starlight's really good at a lot of things out there, but, it's really good if you're searching for that one, is to go out and find things, to get involved into different activities out in public so you can meet people, because you could get really upset on dating apps, huge, really big time. And Starlight has paid money to go on apps. And I can't remember what dating app that was a long time ago. Starlight actually literally paid money. And it was like, I was not happy with that. I really didn't know a whole lot. So it was partially me and, the app and the people that were on there, because it's really horrible if you pay for something and the people are not being real. It's your money and your time and all that being wasted. So if you're going to go on those and you're going to pay money, Starlight's not saying to pay money at all to go on a dating app. But you're going to find yourself getting really frustrated because the process that it takes on a dating app or even in person, no matter what, because it takes time. And the way society is, it's about like instant. I want it now. I don't want to wait. I want her now. And even the longer people have been single, then they hunger more because they've been not going out and having sex with anybody. They've been staying to themselves. They've been saving themselves for that one. So they could get frustrated, men or women, it doesn't necessarily have to be a man getting frustrated. When I say frustrated, like sexually frustrated, and this is a big reason why a lot of people are pushing it, and rushing things is because most of the time it's because that's what they're missing. That's the top of the, the list of what they're missing. And if that's the reason why you're out there looking, then, I am sorry, but you got a lot to learn because it's not about sex. It's more than that. It goes way deeper than that. And I'm making this video to help you out, is to let you know why you could be struggling on finding the one. Sometimes people meet somebody at their workplace. Maybe you started a new job and you're like, hey, yeah, and it's, first thing, and Starlight has been guilty, but not this time. This was everything, the way the universe set everything up is not what I expected at all. And this is, it's not everything that you think the right one, the one that God has got, especially for you. It's not how you think it is, and things don't happen like this, like instant, It's a totally different story, like in a twin flame relationship. But if you're out there getting frustrated because, say, you meet somebody at work, and a lot of times what we're doing is we're looking at an outward appearance and like, hey, or it could be like their personality, how they represent themselves. But like I mentioned in lots of my videos, people are wearing a mask. So you got to really be careful because, I meet people all the time, and sometimes it's more obvious than others who are wearing a mask, but you can't just trust because they say something, and I just talked to somebody recently, and I can't remember who it was, but I just talked to a female, and where we were talking, and I was letting that person know about the mask, and they're like, yes, he was wearing a mask. He wasn't being real. He wasn't being himself. And that's where a lot of heartaches can come in, because you got to be slow on this stuff. You don't want things to get moved too fast and pushed too quick, because, like I mentioned in other videos about, like rushing things to get a kiss, rushing things to get a hug. Absolutely not. If I was in the dating field right now, no hugs. I don't even shake a hand out in public. No hugging, no shaking hand. What? Yeah, no shaking hand, no, none of that stuff. I courted long time ago. I would even, because energy, their vibes, they could send vibes to you, and it could, you might not even be aware of it, where you can definitely send vibes to each other, very close to each other. They can purposely send sexual energy to you without you even being mentally aware that they're doing this to you. So you got to be careful about that kind of stuff, and that's why you got to take your time. But a lot of people, the reason why they don't find the one out there and they get frustrated is because you think you know who you are, but you could be wearing a mask. So how do you think you're going to find that one when you're not being 100% of who you really are? Ouch. I know. I didn't believe this a long time ago. Somebody revealed to me that, I got to take the mask off. I got to take the mask off. What do you mean I got to take the mask off? Because a lot of times, like I mentioned in other videos, is that, you're one way towards this person, a different way, where when you're totally by yourself, that is who you truly are. And some of you might not like who you are when you're by yourself. That's because you need to get healed. That means you need love. That means you gotta, like you might even need to see therapy or something. Getting out in nature will really help you out. But other reasons, besides not being yourself is, like you got to be yourself, number one, and if you think I am myself, Starlight, is, I am myself. And this is what I said to myself too, is years ago, is that I am being myself. But then I realized, what? I had to take a mask off that I wasn't even aware of that I was wearing. So in order to know who you're going to get out there, like the one that's meant for you, is that you got to know who you are. If you don't know who you are, you're not going to, you can find one out there. Yeah, tons of them out there. You can, go anywhere and find a man or a lady. A lot of times when people really get desperate, where they go? To the bars. That's where they go. They're like, you know what? That's when they get a little antsy, and they just go out to a bar, and that they don't even want to be at the bar, but they know, well, but not all people that go to a bar scene is, looking for marriage, right? So you got to be mindful of where you're going to find that one. So by working on yourself, that is going to be how you're going to find that one, is discovering who you are. Now, the other reason why some of you might be out there searching high and low for that one, and you don't know where they are, and you don't understand how come, like you believe you're doing all the right things, like when you meet somebody, the questions, get to see if they're real, right? You want to make sure they're real, not like a robot or a clone, or, right? And then, you might be doing all your homework and being patient, doing everything, and then bam, you find out that is another one that's not the right one. And then you go out again and you try to find, and then you meet someone, could have been anywhere, out in public, at a job, maybe, on a dating app, wherever. And then you go through the same process again. And then, you're building things up like like the way Starlet. I did have a lot of fun, but it was really, I learned a lot on dating apps. But, the time that it takes, getting all the information on dating apps, like, and narrowing it down, and Starlight would have like working, like, bam, when I found somebody that I, like something clicked, and then I would be communicating, and sometimes it's a slow process because they're not really reaching out to you. You reach out to them, but then it takes like, man, days for them to come back and reach to you. So all the people that you're dealing with on dating apps, everybody does things differently. Sometimes their communication sucks right in the beginning and you're like, what is up? Are you interested in me or not? And then, another person will say, hey, Starlight, or whatever name I had on my Facebook page, not Facebook page, but a dating app, whatever username that I would have, I always would change my username. So, like Dancing Queen, hey, Dancing Queen, hey, my name is, I'll just throw a name, Steve, and so then now Steven, now I'm getting hey, this guy here is, I don't know what happened to him. So Starlight doesn't just like work on one. That is what I learned, because I'm going to keep going, and so now it could be like 5 different guys that Starlight is actually communicating with and learning all these things about each one of them. And you got to get your homework, and you don't want to get those guys mixed up. Hey, are you the guy? So that is a tip there. Do not get the people mixed up if you're going to do that way. It's kind of like if I was selling something. Oh yeah, I'm going to sell this, first come, first serve, I'm not going to hold this, for you to come around when you're, no. So that is how Starlight was on dating apps. No, I'm going to talk to 5 guys or how many, and I actually was so honest with these men, as I would let them know, hey, I'm already talking to other people here, because you know what? Nobody owns my ass. I don't belong to anybody. We're not even friends. I have every right to communicate to whoever I want. So, and that was, this is where it would bring up different things with each guy. And then I would learn, you're not the one, you're gone. So those are kind of things that Starlight did when I was on a dating app, because when you were real and you were being honest, some men did not like what was going on. So anyway, with reasons why, even wherever you're searching for a man or woman is, it might not be working out. I got a question for you. Now, I wouldn't even want to count, but from the beginning, when you started out in life, is there things that you haven't forgiven someone for, like, is there an ex that you are still, attached to, and that you have some unresolved issue from the past, and there's ways that you can find out is, do you have some business that you got to take care of? Do you dream of your exes? Now that would be, a good way of knowing is if you're dreaming of your ex, it doesn't mean that you want to be with your ex. It doesn't mean that you were, you might have, because things trigger in our headspace, about different things, things, certain things can trigger things where, you think, say for instance, like if you had a horrible thing that happened with an ex, like at Christmas time or a holiday, and then, you're in the holiday, and, and especially if you were in a relationship the year before, that's the worst. That the year after you break up with somebody, And that's why, I was taught that it's really good to go through a whole year before you even like go with that person, is because then you're going to go through all the holidays with that person. And if they need healing through that whole time of that year, because things are going to pop up through that whole year with their ex. So, so it could bring up a trigger could bring up some kind of memory of something that went sour in a relationship or went really wrong, and so now, like when you think of that person, do you get upset, of what they did? And it could have been long time ago, and there's times that we might even thought we forgave that person for what they did. And we could have really prayed and said, hey, I forgive that person. But then later on, you notice that, that person, what they did to me, then that means that you really didn't forgive them because you really didn't let it go fully. So that could be definitely a reason. Besides, if you're not working on yourself inside, it's not about looking outside of you, it's about looking within and doing the work. If you refuse to work on yourself in your heart space, or you are having grudges, and have a hard heart, towards somebody in your past, like in a relationship, or you could have like a cord to them where, there's, it's amazing how you can let go of people by powerful words, so you got to make sure you forgave those people and ask God, please help me to forgive that person of what they did, so you can clear that, because, that needs to happen. You don't want to, because you're not going to really line up with the right one if that's something that you haven't dealt with 100%. So you want to make sure you get right with, you don't have to go to that person, but you can say that you forgive them, and you want to bless them, people. You don't want to, hey, I wish evil to happen to that person. I hope nothing ever, putting curses on them, because that's not forgiven. A lot of people do that. I've known people that when they did not get their own way, they were, whether they were aware of this or not, even though they called themselves a Christian, they were putting curses on people. Watch out for putting curses, and your words are very powerful. I've had people putting spells on me long time ago, and that shit comes back. And I don't know if the number, there's a number, and I don't know if it's 7, but, if a person puts a spell or a curse and it's to, send something evil their way or wish them evil, that is going to, I have actually done stuff before when somebody was putting spells on me where I said, send that back to the sender. You're not putting that on me. I'm sending it back, It's going to bounce off of me and it's going to come back at you. So really be wise if you got angry and upset, and like you might have a person's face or name in your head right now as I'm talking, where you're like, oh yeah, that person, yeah, that is the person that you got to get, you got to forgive them and wish them well. Say, God, please bless them. You know what? The best thing to do is to pray. I don't have any enemies, but if you have any enemies, pray for them. Pray that God, please, can you help this person out? I'll tell you what, that is the greatest thing you can ever do. That really, that is the greatest thing to do. Keep your heart right with those people. You got to let it go. You can't, you can bring that into another relationship, but what kind of relationship are you going to get? One that you got to start all over. Oh, that one only lasted how many months? You didn't even get to move in with each other. That's how quick that ended, right? Who likes that? So anyway, those are a couple. There's a whole lot of other reasons, but so you got to know who you are, and you gotta work on yourself. It doesn't. Things don't happen overnight on this, and you got to be patient. When it comes to looking for the one. And what is it that you're looking for? What is your heart in the right spot? Like, what kind of relationship you looking for. Is it a long-term? And healing needs to be done. All of us need to get healed. You're like, oh, I'm good. You think you're good. You think you're fine. A lot of times we find out we really weren't as fine. Sometimes our ego lies to us. Actually, a lot of times our ego lies to us and tells us, oh, you're fine. Well, fine is not a good answer anyway. So I can't remember what the fine stands for, but so you really got to keep your heart right with those people. And the best advice I could give to you is work on yourself. So anyway, I love you so much. This is Starlight. You could give this video a thumbs up. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't forget, you can leave me a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. And don't forget the notification bell. Plus, you could check out my playlist and follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. I love you all. Oh, sorry. So if anybody has done anything in your past, forgive them. Forgive them, and you got to mean it. There's times that you might not be able to do this right away, but there's a time when you're like, you know what? If you have a day where you're really not doing good, and it's like a confession time, that is a good time to just clear everything out. Just, anything that's been on your mind and your heart is to just clear it out. You don't want to just pretend that you forgave them. You have to be 100% real. So I love you. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight, love, light, and